These cries for mom reveal the raw, aching wounds of China's 60 million left-behind children. You watch your parents drive away while you stand there powerless. Do you see a reflection of your own once lonely self? In a remote village there lives a 9-year-old boy named Kai. Because his parents have gone to work as migrant workers, he only has his elderly ailing grandfather to rely on in the countryside. A stray dog named Xiaodan has become his closest companion. After suffering gas poisoning, his grandfather's health declined until he eventually passed away. Kai was left to guard the empty house alone, surviving on plain buns and cold water. His father decides to bring Kai to the city for school, but as they board the bus, the conductor tells them that dogs are not allowed. His father has no choice but to leave Xiaodan behind, but Kai insists on bringing him along no matter what. In desperation, his father has to force Kai onto the bus. Kai cries uncontrollably. He can't bear to abandon Xiaodan. Losing Xiaodan feels just like losing his grandfather. In this world, Kai is everything to Xiaodan. Xiaodan chases the bus relentlessly until it finally disappears from view. After arriving in the city, Kai falls ill with a high fever and sleeps for 3 days. Even in his delirium, he keeps calling out Xiaodan's name. Under his parents' devoted care, Kai finally regains consciousness. Meanwhile, back in the village, ever since his little master left, Xiaodan has been waiting faithfully by the front door. He refuses to leave even when he's shivering from the cold. He's afraid that his little master won't be able to find him when he returns. A neighbor, Xiaohua, tries to feed him sausages, but Xiaodan has no appetite at all. Xiaohua had no choice but to take him home first and call Kai and told him what had happened to his Xiaodan.
Since you that Xiaodan has been heartbroken. He lay at your door for 3 days and 3 nights. I tried to feed, but he wouldn't eat. I tried to take him to my house, but he wouldn't go. The bus is here. Always eat something. I will definitely come back for you during the spring festival.
All living creatures possess a soul. After hearing his young master's voice, Xiaodan finally started to eat. But as soon as he finished, he returned to the door to wait. Kai could finally focus on school with peace of mind. His desk mate Zhu Liang is the son of a bank president, but Zhu Liang never looked down on Kai. He even took the initiative to talk to him. After school, Kai asked him if he had a phone as he wanted to call his hometown. Zhu Liang said that the school doesn't allow mobile phones, but told Kai that he could use a calling card instead. It's much cheaper than a mobile phone. He even showed Kai how to use it. Kai quickly asked about the price. Zhu Liang said it's 10 yuan, but Kai had no money at all.
Do you want to take out a loan? A loan means borrowing money. If you really want to buy it, I can lend you the money. How much? How much do you need? Can I borrow 10 yuan? Sure. This is called advanced consumption. People in the city do this all the time. But I charge 1 interest per day. 1 interest? What does that mean? You've definitely never borrowed money before. No. Why should anyone lend you their money for nothing? Because they're kind. If you borrow 10 yuan, the interest is 10 cents every day. For every day that passes you owe an extra 10 cents. It's just 10 cents, it's peanut.
After hesitating for a moment, Kai mustered the courage to borrow 10 yuan from Zhu Liang. He immediately went to a shop to buy a phone card and dialed Xiaohua's house. Hearing that his little master was going to read to him, Xiaodan fetched Grandma Xiaohua's shoe, sat on it obediently, and listened intently to the voice on the other end. The next day, his mother gave him 4 yuan 2 for the bus and 2 for breakfast. Looking at the money in his hand, Kai remembered his debt and decided to skip breakfast to save the 2 yuan. He also told his mother loudly not to bother making breakfast anymore and to just give him the 4 yuan instead. On the way, Kai noticed someone collecting waste bottles. He realized that what was worthless in the countryside could be sold for money in the city. To pay off the 10 yuan loan as soon as possible, Kai started picking up bottles after school. He would even pick up any bottles he saw on his way to school and stuff them into his pocket side. Unexpectedly, his teacher caught him doing this. In class, the teacher called on Kai to stand up, and that's why he was picking up discarded bottles. Kai stammered in reply, "It's for Xiaodan."
You should speak up more in the future to build your confidence. That way you will become more courageous.
The teacher's words made the whole class burst into laughter. One day, his mother finished her early shift and came to pick him up, only to find him collecting bottles on the street instead of going home. She immediately called her husband and asked him to hurry to the school. The couple followed Kai to a phone booth. only to realize he was skipping breakfast and collecting bottles just to save for phone cards. Also, he could call and read to Xiaodan back home. Back home, Dad scolded Kai and told him to focus on his studies. And to stop picking up scrap, he added that if Kai missed Xiaodan, he could use his phone to call, but only once a week. Wait until the winter break. Then, he would take him back home for the new year to see Xiaodan. After school the next day, Zhu Liang told Kai to just bring Xiaodan back to the city with him next time. Kai said that dogs aren't allowed on trains, but Zhu Liang immediately suggested that even if they aren't allowed on the train, he could arrange for pet transport so Xiaodan could come to the city and live with him. Soon winter break arrived Xiaohua, and Xiaodan waited at the village entrance early on. The moment he saw his little master, Xiaodan dashed toward Kai.
There is a longing called waiting a resonance. Có gì? Người ngon đến chào. Wait, there is a trust called doting and joy, called playing wild, and a separation called pain.
Kai even bought Xiaodan a new outfit in all his years. This was the first time Xiaodan wore clothes. While cooking dinner, Xiaodan helped his master by carrying firewood in his mouth as before. At night, he stayed by Kai's side, fearing his master might leave again. On New Year's Eve, Dad told Kai to kowtow to his grandfather. Grandpa had raised him for 9 whole years. After kowtowing, Kai took a book from his school bag and knelt before Grandpa's portrait once again. Seeing his master about to read to Grandpa, Xiaodan brought over Grandpa's old cotton shoes, sitting quietly by his side to accompany Kai as he read.
The Spring Festival is a grand reunion for the billions of descendants of Yan and Huang. When the festival arrives, no matter how many thousands of miles away, no matter where they are, millions of descendants of Yan and Huang will rush back to their hometown to reunite with family, put up Spring Festival couplets, set off firecrackers and eat them, and visit relatives at this moment of bidding farewell to the old and welcoming the new. People sit together to stay up late for the New Year's Eve vigil, staying up all night to honor the memory of departed loved ones, blessing the world with good fortune and praying for themselves, praying for friends and family, and for everyone in the world. And Kai also prays for you. I wish you and Grandma good health. Happy New Year!
After the new year, it was time to head back to the city. Mom and Dad discussed finding a new home for Xiaodan, but Kai adamantly refused this time. He insisted on taking him to the city.
It's not that we don't want to take Xiaodan. It's just that they don't sell tickets for dogs on the train.
What if the station does sell tickets for dogs?
The Spring Festival travel rush is so hectic, people are desperate just to get on them. You can't even buy a ticket for a person, let alone a dog.
But what if they do?
If you can manage to buy a ticket, then I'll agree to let you take him.
Even if I agree, you still won't be able to buy one.
Zhu Liang from my class helped me check dogs are pets, and they can be transported as cargo for 3 yuan per kilogram.
The couple had no choice but to agree to arrange transport for Xiaodan. Back in the city, Zhu Liang and his classmates were waiting early at Kai's door. They all wanted to see just how smart this puppy was that Kai had been missing so much. After school started, all the classmates heard Xiaodan's story, and they came by Kai's house with snacks to visit him. Xiaodan was a bit overwhelmed and bewildered by this sudden burst of affection. This Saturday, the students organized a volunteer activity. To clean the park, protecting the environment is everyone's responsibility. As everyone tidied up the park, Xiaodan tagged along by their side. He didn't forget to help pick up bottles. But just as everyone was preparing to go home, Xiaodan spotted a bottle across the road. Unaware of the traffic, it only wanted to climb over the fence to fetch it. The classmates were too busy chatting to notice Xiaodan. Suddenly, the piercing screech of brakes rang out. Everyone rushed over, only to find Xiaodan lying shivering in a pool of blood. Kai scooped up Xiaodan and raced desperately to the hospital. After an examination, the doctor said Xiaodan's internal organs were severely damaged, and there was no hope.
Which of you is the owner of the dog?
I am well.
The dog has severe internal injuries. It's beyond medical help. I've bandaged his wounds. You should take him home now. I know you're You should take him home now.
Sir, Xiaodan is very smart, please. We aren't afraid of the cost. I plenty have money. Me too. So do I.
The children had to take Xiaodan home, huddling around him for his final journey. Since Xiaodan grew up listening to Kaize read Kaize with trembling hands, took out his book and continued reading to him, listening to the voice, Xiaodan slowly closed his eyes. In his final moments, his mind was filled with memories of his time with Kaize.
Crystal clear, turning everything pure. You know there's a way of listening that tugs at your heartstrings, feeling the connection with you. One feeling is called understanding. One heartbeat is called waiting. One bond is called resonance. One trust is called devotion. One joy is called abandon. The film uses the bond between humans and animals as a narrative vessel to deeply explore the emotional void and growing pains of left behind and migrant children.
To Kaize, Xiaodan has long been more than just a pet. He has become a symbolic transitional object, growing up with the loss of his grandfather and the absence of parental care. This puppy was his listener in loneliness and his companion in fear, embodying his entire yearning for security and a sense of belonging. The film The Reading Boy adopts a child's perspective as its starting point, and through the power of pure emotion, it raises social awareness for left-behind children and the children of migrant workers. They need more than just material security. They need emotional companionship, a sense of identity and guidance in their growth, elements that turn everything into something pure.